Pascal on the classic Macintosh. That's what this video is about, and we're going to be learning Pascal along the way. I'm a C++ programmer, and that's my day job. I've done programming in many other languages over the years, and never once, for some reason, have I ever used Pascal for anything. And I think there's a lot going on with retro computing nowadays. People are really interested in what we've lost over the years with the trend towards software becoming really big and really complicated. I think there's a definite subculture that exists right now that's looking back to the past to see what we can learn from the way things used to be as opposed to the way they are now. And I have some previous videos on YouTube about this kind of thing, building a clone of Notepad in Windows 2000, which I think is, the best Windows OS. And I wanted to try something else that I didn't really have very much familiarity with, and I didn't do any Mac programming growing up. I only had a PC, so I had very little exposure to the Mac, and it seemed like a completely alien environment to me. The API was completely different, and especially back in the day, people used, again, Pascal or assembly language instead of C to write programs. So it was just kind of a completely separate dimension to me. And I thought that, based on some conversations that I've had with friends lately, namely Cancel here in the chat, that I would check it out. Because aesthetically, you just got to look at this thing. Like, it's this is Mini VMac, which is the VM that I'm using. It's an emulator that's running this really old image of really old hard drive image of the Mac System 7 OS, and this particular emulated Mac can display like true color, 32-bit color, but I turned down the bit depth just so I can, I wanted to kind of experience that like black and white, like super stark aesthetic, and I find it pretty beautiful, honestly. Pretty crisp stuff. Cancel in the chat says that this emulated Mac only supports 256 colors, which, again, that shows how much I know exactly about this kind of stuff. But I did know that I had to turn down the bit depth on the colored display to get this effect. And just look at it. I mean, we got black and white. We got 0 and 1. That's the only two colors we've got working with here. And I think it's perfect for, examining computers and this sort of like old school vibe. Pascal, again, is the language that I wanted to try and learn a little bit about tonight, and for some reason, it was the high-level language that was used on the classic Mac by a lot of people. Of course, the OS was written in assembly language, and I'm sure a lot of people wrote programs in assembly, but Pascal is a higher-level language, kind of analogous to C, that people used. C wasn't really popular outside of Unix until maybe the early 90s or the late 80s. And yeah, I think the general idea for Pascal was sort of an educational language. They developed it basically to teach people how to program, and that's basically all I know. I should have read the Wikipedia article, but I wanted to go through this kind of blank. I didn't want to spend too much time doing a bunch of research and like accidentally learning the language along the way. So let's check out this book. Can you see the book as I'm scrolling it? Yeah, you can see it. So this book shows you how to write Mac applications with Think Pascal. Cancel says Mac Pascal or Object Pascal comes from UCSD Pascal. I'm assuming that's University of California, San Diego which is a modification of Pascal to make it practical for non-teaching purposes, including this. Nice. Okay. So I kind of just want to skip to the part where I can start writing code. And I'm going to open up Think Pascal here. I guess it's already open. Let me quit, actually, so I can get that first run experience. Okay, got a new project. Let's call it, what are we going to call it? Let's find a place to put it first. Projects. Let's say I'll just say Gates in the chat says Lil Doggy. Okay. I'll say Lil Doggy. Oh, instant project. I was supposed to click that. I know cancel told me to do that. So let me delete that. Let me empty the trash here. And projects. I'll just put that in the trash. Contains items that are in use. Okay, so I'm actually learning how to use this computer too. I don't really know a whole lot about it. Empty trash. All right, let's try that again. Avoiding spaces in file names. I guess I don't need to do that. All right. Projects. Lil Doggy. With a space. This is not DOS. Mac could deal with spaces. Famously. I remember the experience of using a Mac and seeing those long file names that didn't have extensions, and it just kind of blew my mind. Okay. So we got program Lil. Can I change that? Let's say Lil Doggy. Okay. Can I just build this? Okay, it builds. So this program that I just built, this is a completely empty program, builds to a size of 35,704 bytes. And it sounds like a lot for something that doesn't do anything, but this also has, some runtime support and things like that. And you could copy this executable to any Mac and run it without installing a bunch of stuff. I really should have shown the installation procedure for Think Pascal, but like a lot of other Mac applications, it's just the process of dragging the stuff onto your hard disk, and that's it. No insane installers like we have to deal with nowadays with Visual Studio or, other stuff that is just... I feel like modern IDEs have just exploded in complexity. And this is a pretty good lesson about how simple things can be. So, Cancel says if I do build application, it will be less than 1 kilobyte. Let's try that. Let's save application as Lil Doggy result. I don't know. Let's go find it. Okay. And let's get info on that. Okay, 855 bytes. It's pretty good. Okay, now we want to make this thing actually do something. It looks like comments go in between these curly braces here. I'm assuming. And that's cool because curly braces are so important in C. They pretty much kind of define everyone's idea of the language. But here, the curly braces mean nothing, which I think is nice flip-flopping of what's going on. Okay, so how do I even do anything? Getting started, setting up. Hello world. Okay, sounds good. I personally don't like hello world. Like, I don't know why. If you're going to write a program, don't write the exact program that people tell you. Like, in the thing where you write something else. Don't write hello world. Okay, program, Lil Doggy. Thanks, Gates, for the name. And let's say the code here. Just checking to see if everyone can see that. I'll say show text. I don't know what that is. So I'm assuming that's a function. Is this tabs? Okay, it's tabbing. And right line? Okay. Single quotes, it looks like, for the strings. I'll say sup. It looks like the statements end in semicolons. And let's build it. And let's go. Okay, gotta save. Okay, so it showed me some text output. That sounds good. And again, if you're writing hello world, don't actually say hello world. Okay, so it looks like that runs, and I'm actually, Cancel says I don't have to save. I can turn off the prompt to save. Where's that? Is that preferences or something? Options. Okay. That's... And Buzzard in the chat says that still to this day, most good Mac applications are you just drag it from the disk image and onto your hard drive or something like that. Run confirms. Oh, see, look at this simple UI. Everything's in the menus. Oh, don't save. I see. It's like a radio button type thing. Okay. Drawing on the Macintosh. Quick Draw is the Macintosh drawing environment. With it, you can draw rectangles and other shapes. Do you need any other shapes? I made that joke the other day. And fill them with different patterns. You can draw text. Okay. I think I'll try and just draw a rectangle. I'm going to skip to wherever this thing shows me some code about how to draw a rectangle. Okay, maybe it's not. Maybe it's like interleaved here. All right. So it's kind of showing me setting up a window for my application. That's what I want to do. Do I need to write a resource? Okay, I should actually read this. Build a wind resource with ResEdit? Do I need to do that? Can I just do it programmatically? Are there utilities here? Res utilities? Okay, so I don't need to do that. Okay, so I'll try and draw the window programmatically if I can find how to do that. Use show drawing to draw a canvas. Okay. Sounds good. And how about, it says you can move to a particular place on the screen. Let's move to 3232. And I'm assuming there's a rectangle function. Drawing shapes. Okay, so let's go back to so am I frame rect? Okay. How about frame rect? Let's search for that here. Should probably learn some basics of the actual language. So it looks like there are types, obviously. And you can declare variables here by saying var or var. Let's say the rect. Let's say bounds with the type rect. Yeah, it's very fast. I turned up the speed. I mean, why not? And yes, the VM, the PDF viewer is in the host OS. So we got a rectangle here declared, and I kind of like this declaration syntax. And we got, was it frame rect with the rectangle as the parameter? And it looks like we have set rect, which seems to be a function that you can call to initialize a rectangle. So let's say bounds. Let's say set rect on my bounds variable here. I don't know exactly what this type is, so I'll look at the documentation here for set rect. Is there documentation for it? I guess inside Macintosh imaging is another PDF file that I would need. So it's left top, right bottom. Okay, so just like Windows. Okay, so let's do, oh, I see. Let's do a 32 by 32 rectangle. And call frame rect on bounds. Okay. Seems to be built. Okay, just drew a rectangle. That's fancy. Okay, it looks like there's the actual like window canvas, there's just some uninitialized thing. It's like once I get past a certain size here, it's just garbage data. So I don't have to build separate. Command G is good enough. Okay, let's try that. Command G. Look at how fast that is. And again, I turned up the speed of the VM here, so it's not exactly accurate. But let's see how fast it would be if it was just regular. That's not too bad for 1x. So 8x is the normal speed for this Mac 2. Okay. I'm going to turn it all the way up to 5 because I'm just trying to have fun here. Okay, so I got a rectangle, and I kind of want to see if I can move this rectangle around. And it looks like this documentation here talks about how to define procedures or functions. I always like procedure instead of function, personally, because a lot of times my functions don't return anything, and they're not pure. So calling them functions, like you would call them in you know, like Haskell or something, it's not really, it's not a great like one-to-one mapping there. So I like procedure. So I'm glad this uses procedure here. Okay, so I can define procedures here before begin. Okay. Let's say procedure, draw rectangle, draw character. This is going to be our character. It's going to be a game featuring this rectangle as the star. Maybe eventually we can draw a sprite, maybe a dog. Okay. And begin? Okay. And nice. Okay, let's see if I can copy this stuff over here and call my new function. Oh, I'll put this show drawing thing here at the beginning of the program. And let's see if that builds. Seems to be good. All right, seems to work. Okay, cool. Nice. So I know how to define procedures and call them. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to handle some events, and I don't know exactly what's going on with that. I know that handling events on the original Mac is supposedly pretty similar to the way that Windows handles events, and that's not really an accident. I think originally Windows was just kind of a straight-up clone of the original Macintosh API. I think Microsoft wrote a cross-platform layer for Excel when they first developed it on the Macintosh, and then kind of filled out the Windows side of the cross-platform layer. That's what I heard anyway. Okay, so we got some documentation here about how to handle mouse down, but I want to use the keyboard. Wow, there's like a ton of documentation here, and it just looks like it's describing how to handle all the events. And doing a main loop. I'm just going to see if I can figure it out. Okay. Begin. Show drawing. Let's enter this. Let's enter this main loop. Let's define our procedure. Main loop. Begin. And what is that? What is the main loop supposed to do? Looks like here, get trap address. Okay. Don't know what that means. Handle event. Okay. I'm just going to type what this thing says. I don't need that. Cancel here in the chat says I don't actually need this. I want to handle the keyboard events. The event mechanism, that's what I want. Kind of don't really want to read. I just want to kind of do it. Okay. Here's kind of like what I'm looking for. Handle event. I'm going to do while I'm going to declare a variable that describes whether my program is done running or not. And let's call it running. So running true. It looks like this is the initialization syntax is colon equals while running do handle event. I gotta write this handle event function. Procedure. Let's say procedure. Procedure handle event. And I'm just going to type exactly what this documentation says and kind of understand it later. Var the event record done Boolean. Thanks for the help, cancel. See you later. And okay, looks like these declarations should be up here. Procedure handle event. Let's just kind of clean this up so I can see the delineations between these procedures. And it looks like in handle event, this example code has a flag, this got1 Boolean, and it's waiting for the next event. Sounds pretty simple. And if that succeeds, then it sets this got1 flag to true. If it does not succeed, I wonder if this is even, if we have access to this wait next event. Do we have that on System 7? I have no idea. Let me read a little bit about how this works. Multi-finder. I have no idea what multi-finder is. I think it's some kind of... Looks like it's a set of OS functions that extend the capabilities of the Mac and allow the Mac to run multiple applications. Okay. So I can do that, so I know that this has this wait next event function is available to me. So let's declare this flag here. Let's change this other Boolean to the title case version. Begin got event. Let's initialize that to the result of wait next event. Every event. Looks like that's some kind of constant. Sleep value. Mouse region. Don't know what those values are, but I'll find them here in a moment. And if got event, then... Okay, so it looks like the syntax here is similar to a lot of other languages for this kind of stuff. So, case event dot what of. I see, this is like a switch mouse down. I don't really care about mouse stuff, but I'll just try it out and see if that works. Actually, I'm just gonna remove this for now. Can comments be multi-line? I guess I'll find out. So Segfault in the chat says the syntax looks like Ada. And I do not know what the Ada syntax looks like, really. I know that it's like very kind of, very structured like this. Is this comment going to work? Let's just try and build it. Okay, sleep value is not declared. I don't know where that came from. So I guess I see. It's just not completely shown. The code isn't totally shown here. Handling events. I'm just going to look at the docs for wait next event. Let's see if I can just find the... Using the wait next event function. Sounds like what I want. Your application receives events from the event manager and relinquishes processor time using the wait next event function. Event manager uses events for your applications, for mouse button, keyboard. I basically just want some API documentation. Okay. This looks like what I want. It looks like this event record is a struct, some kind of structure that says what the message is. So the event code, the event message, ticks since startup. That's interesting that it actually communicates the time in every event. Mouse location. So that's going to be in every event. I see. And then the description here for the what member? What is that called in Pascal? The what... Is that end if? Let's just say end. Okay. I don't know how that works, but I'll get to it in a sec. Okay. It seems pretty convenient that it actually gives you so much system information in every single event. It's not really a scalable thing for today's OSs, or maybe it is. I don't know. I guess not every application really needs to know your mouse location like they would in like back here especially when the Mac is so mouse focused. On Windows and Unix, it just doesn't really apply. Okay. Looking for processing events using the wait next event function. That's what I want. 4 parameters, an event mask, every event, event record, so I got the record, and I'm assuming that's passed by reference. Sleep value, a sleep value, okay. I guess that's how long to wait in ticks for if there's no, just how long to wait for an event, and I guess it'll return if it didn't get one, it'll return false if it didn't get one. And the mouse region, okay. Sounds good. Looks like cursor region. Looks like it's saying, let's just define our stuff here and say event mask is an integer. Our cursor region, is it? I wonder what the actual contents of that region are. Is it an X and a Y position? I'm assuming. What else could it be? Okay. That's a region handle. Why am I going to abbreviate that? I guess because I have to actually type it. It's not going to auto-complete it for me, but I'll just be explicit. Set an appropriate sleep value. I can just call it, I can just put it in there as a literal, I assume. Okay, the first parameter was our event mask. Let's say event mask. Our event sleep value. Let's say 10. I don't know what that is. And cursor region. Okay, mystery solved about the parameters here. Event mask probably needs to be initialized to something, but I don't know what. Modifiers of okay. This mask. It's a bit mask, I'm assuming, of various event types. Event mask specifies events. Setting an event mask. Okay. Setting the event mask. Let's just search for that. Is that going to find it? Here we go. Guess we want all of them. So how do I use hexadecimal in in Pascal? Does anyone know? Well, I guess I'll just do decimal then. Event mask equals 65536. Let's put a 5 there at the end. And I don't know. Seems fine. While running, do handle event. Okay. Now we can go back to the Macintosh Pascal programming primer. Okay. Is this build? This doesn't make sense as a statement. Oh, I see. I was in C mode. Okay, so it builds. Probably doesn't actually do anything because I need to handle the event. And if got event then, oh, I see. I don't actually have to put an end after that, so it's kind of reminds me of Python a little bit, where I don't actually have to close the if. I guess because there's some sort of kind of block here. I don't know. Case event.what of, and let's do mouse down, and maybe I can say, can I write to that text output thing? What are the events that we can handle? Okay. Let's just see if this builds. What doesn't make sense as a statement? Oh, I see. Gotta close that block there. Do I even get to see that text output? I guess I don't. Okay. How do I... How do I quit this application? Shows how it is. This doesn't make sense as a statement. That's a great error message. Okay, why is that still there? All right, that's fine. Okay, I guess what I want now is some way of... how about I can just draw to the screen once I get a mouse message? Who knows? Let's try it. Oh, I see. I was still running the program. Okay, so let's just not draw our rectangle, our character, until we get a mouse down event. Let's see if that works. Okay, that worked. Sounds good. So I'm already up handling events and drawing to the screen. And it looks like... How do I quit? I don't know how to actually stop the application. Reset? Okay, reset means stop debugging, I guess. Where'd my Soylent go? Does anyone have any questions that I might be able to answer? I'm probably not going to be able to answer many questions because I don't really know a whole lot about it. And let's say I'm going to add a sync offset to my voice here. I'm using Mini VMAC. It's the VM that I'm using. The IDE that I'm using is Think Pascal 4.0. It's about Think Pascal. version 4.0.2 by Symantec Corporation. It's another Silicon Valley corporation right down the road. Nice credits. Okay. So I'm handling events, drawing to the screen, and I want key down events because I want to move around the character, which is a rectangle, to different spots on the screen based on the keyboard events. Kind of want to write some kind of little fake game or something. How about key down? That looks like what's shown here in the docs. Let's say key was pressed. I'll just say handle key down for now. Let's just go ahead and say that could write a procedure here. Procedure handle key down. And the event is global to our application. I should probably call it something more obviously global other than event, but that'll do for now. And how do I handle key down events? Okay. What do I miss the most from modern IDEs while using this? I don't know. I don't think I really miss anything at the moment. It's really kind of not a whole lot. I haven't really seen a whole lot here, so I don't really know what I miss. I might be more enlightened here in a moment. Okay. Handle key down. Okay. So let's look at this documentation for this event structure again. So event. Yeah, I'm reading a book while I'm working here. I'm trying not to read too much because I don't want it to get boring. Okay, so I know exactly what... I know that I got the key down event by the time I'm actually in this procedure. So... modifiers, I don't care about the modifiers. The when. Okay, character code and virtual key code in low order word. All right. So I don't know what any of the keys actually mean. So I wonder if it's just ASCII. Okay. How about if case event dot message of let's just try this. How about W? Is that going to work? What if I press W? Let's draw a character if I get a W. Let's see if that builds. Okay, doesn't work. Case constant, incompatible with tag type or selector expression. Classic computer error message. I have no idea what this means because I don't know the terms of the language. Okay. How do I do character constants? I'm going to search for key down. In this book, and just find the first thing that seems to describe what this is. Okay. Looks like I got some code here. We got var. How about... Character pressed. What's the type of the... Okay, it's just char. Okay, and it looks like in this event handling code, it's using this CHR function. And I'm assuming that's what that's doing, is it's probably... I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But let's just copy the code verbatim and check it out later. Bit and, I'm assuming that's bitwise and. Char code mask. Okay. Don't know what that is. I guess I should probably look this up. So it's anding. Okay, so it's probably doing an and for the low 8 bits of this message variable. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know what CHR does, but whatever. Character pressed. Okay, I was just started writing C. So, if character pressed... Oh, I see. Case character. Can I just say W? Let's try this again. Okay, so this is becoming confusing. So draw player. I'm going to rename draw character to draw player. Let's try and build it. Okay, at least the syntax is correct. I don't know if it's actually going to do what I want it to do. And to be clear, what I want it to do is I'm going to press W and it's going to draw the player character. Hopefully. Okay. That worked. Sounds good. How do I quit? I don't want to do something really destructive and crash the computer or whatever. So I don't want to press Command Q and close Think Pascal. Just go over here and press reset. Okay, so what I want is I want to do WASD and increment and decrement the position, the Y and X and Y position of the player character sprite. It's not really a sprite, but maybe it will be later. Okay. How do I define a type? Let's explore that. I'm just scrolling around until I see some kind of record. I think it's type. I think I remember seeing this somewhere. Type. Is that going to work? Type. type position. Okay, that's that's not quite what I want. I want to call it position. Okay, I should just look it up. Okay, here we go. It's like actually defining the event record type. Type position equals record. And let's do X equals integer, Y equals integer, end. Is that how that works? Let's press build. N needed to complete. Okay. End needed to complete what? Complete the above record. Oh, I see. Maybe I don't see. Okay. Looks like I'm doing pretty much what they're doing here, so I don't quite understand what the problem is. Oh. Gotcha. I was using equals instead of colon. Okay. And let's create a new variable here of type position. Let's call it player position. Okay. Let's initialize that here in the beginning of the application. Let's say player position dot x. Let's just say 32. Yeah, the thumbs down on the failed line. It's pretty funny. Okay. Actually, let's extract this and let's do initialize init player. Just call it that for now. Decide on better names for things later. Procedure. Okay. Got to use that colon equals. Okay, the draw player function will now need to use that global position to decide where to draw it. So let's say, how do I define constants? Oh, I'll figure that out later. Let's say player size. Let's say player width. That's size. Oh, I see. I've never learned a new language live on on stream before. Okay, player size. Okay, so the first two parameters of this set rect are the x and y. So let's do player position dot x, player position dot y, and then can I do this? Do I need? Is it gonna like hate me? My audio is a bit low compared to other stuff on your PC. Okay, let me see what I can do. Let's see. How about now? Is that louder? Is that better? I turned up the gain a little bit on my voice. Okay, back to actually doing stuff. Okay. Can I have new lines in a function call here? Or is it going to auto format? Okay, maybe. It's going to auto format. All right, that's fine. Try and build. It builds. And okay. How about let's try and run it. Okay. What I want to do now is now that I have some position variables in place, I'm going to handle WASD, and for each of those, either increment or decrement one of the X or Y values, and then redraw. I don't know if I have to clear the screen and then redraw, or whether this Think Pascal environment will take care of that for me, but we can find out. Okay, so in our handle key down event, let's move draw player down here to the end. And for W, we'll say player position dot Y. Let's assign the value. Is this the first assignment or just... Okay, let's try it out. Player position dot Y -1. For A, let's do S. Seems fine to me. Okay, what did I do there? Don't know what I did. That build? Let's try to run it. Okay, so it's moving, but it's not clearing the original. It's not clearing the canvas, so I'll have to figure out exactly how to do that. Okay. Event mechanism. Fill rect. Okay. Sounds like what I want. I'm just gonna try typing clear. Let's see if that works. No. I was hoping for some just magic there. So I might actually have already run into some difficulty here because what I'm doing, I'm using this Think Pascal's like automatic setup for the drawing toolkit and create a rectangle the size of the canvas. Yeah, I want to do that, but I don't know exactly what the canvas size is. I don't know how to find out. That's what I'd like to know. I want to know how I can find the size of the canvas. And one, I think it would be pretty straightforward to look at the documentation here for that. If I were using the regular, like the regular steps of creating a window and everything like that, but I'm using this like super easy mode setup for the drawing environment from Think Pascal. So maybe I'll have to dump that, but I'd rather not for now. So I'm going to see if I can find a... I guess I can just hack it for now. And we can say the... let's just define the canvas as some arbitrary value. And within that, I'll just paint over it. We can figure out exactly how big the real canvas is later on. Okay. And this bounds needs to be replaced with the, let's say, player bounds. Okay. I can do canvas. I can initialize the canvas down here. Set rect to canvas 0, 0. How about, let's do that. 128, 128. Let's go up here. And every time we want to draw the player, let's just obliterate the canvas. So there's a function called fill rect. I'm just going to search for it. Oh, it's not in the docs. It's not in the Toolbox docs. So it looks like we got the rectangle as the first parameter, and then the color as the second parameter. Okay. How about fill rect canvas? White? Is that going to work? Clear is not declared. It's because it doesn't exist. It's fake. I made it up. Okay. Nice, look at that. I think soon we could replace this rectangle with the titular Lil Doggy, as decided by Gates in the chat earlier. Let's get a nice little game here. It's very fun. This rectangle is it's our friend. Yeah, the dog, Clarice. I'm gonna open up this Coca-Cola Zero Sugar here. So I don't know how to actually import resources or anything into this, and I probably should figure out how to do that. Is there anything else I can do before I need to actually do resources? I could draw some text. I think I kind of want to draw some text. Draw string. Okay. Draw string. How about I do that? I'm going to do a procedure. We have draw player. Let's do draw stats. Let's do it some HP and MP. Show the character's HP and MP. And we can do move to, where do we want to draw the HUD? We'll do it down at the bottom. Do below the player character. So let's say, I don't know. Let's say 64. 64. Text size 24? 16? 12? Draw string. Let's just draw some. Let's draw an example string. What do I do about this escape character here? Is that... Uh-oh. Can I escape like I do in C? No. Okay. How about... Let's just call both of these from some centralized rendering function. Let's just try and run that. Okay, it's not too bad. I don't know why it's... Oh, I see why. Doesn't look good, but if we can move this window, can we move it? Oh, we can't because I'm not actually holding. Maybe I'm not processing the events, giving it back to the OS, maybe. How about let's draw a rectangle here around our stats. Maybe not. Maybe let's just say HP. It's 573. And move to... If I can do a new line. Can I do a new line? Can I just do this? MP. What's a lower number? 69. Oh, I see. HP, 1998, MP, 573. And let's try and build that. Run it. So I was hoping that would do some kind of automatic magic new line thing, but didn't quite do that, so guess we'll have to figure that out. Should probably figure out exactly how to run. I think I figured that out now. It's that icon up here. All right. Well, I can manually move down and draw the MP below it. I guess I don't know exactly how big the text is, or is it literally 12 pixels? Maybe. 64 plus 16 is 76. Plus 12. 64 plus 12. And let's run it. Cool. Well, we got a very simple RPG. Player character seems really big compared to the HP and MP stats. Okay. I think this is a pretty good stopping place for me. I'm gonna come back to this later. We got, in the past hour or so, we got handling events, drawing text, drawing rectangles, and moving around this rectangle on the screen. Figured out the syntax for procedures, figured out the syntax for types, and switching, and if statements. That's basically all you need to write computer programs. Does anyone have any questions for me while I'm still on the stream? I also want to say that, like, this is not my typical sort of style where in the past programming videos that I've done, I kind of knew exactly what I was going to do from the get-go. whereas this I was completely learning it from scratch. And I think this kind of illustrates at least my learning style whenever I'm approaching something new, especially some kind of new API or new language, is I kind of look for just how to get something on the screen as soon as possible and try to do something as soon as possible. I think it's really easy whenever you're first starting to work with a technology. It's like really easy to start reading about like the theory of how it works and reading like syntax and just all kinds of like documentation before you do anything. But the thing that you actually want to practice is writing code, and making mistakes is how you learn. So the sooner that you can start making mistakes, the better. And the longer you put off actually doing anything, you're putting off making the mistakes, and you're putting off doing it correctly. Chase asks in the chat, why is the window called drawing? Is that a default or something I wrote? It looks like it's some sort of default setup, like some sort of window that Think Pascal sets up for you if you don't set up a window manually, so that you can just go ahead and start drawing stuff, which is great. It's pretty good, like sort of instant results kind of experience. Regarding the hair, it's definitely way longer than usual. And I don't know. I'm not going to cut it. I'd like to keep all of my Pascal activities on stream, so I'm not going to do anything between now and the next stream for this. Not going to read any documentation and not going to read any source code, so I'll be able to capture the complete learning experience on video. Like I said, I don't really know a whole lot about the classic Mac, and other than it looks amazing, I kind of can't believe how good just a monochrome OS can look. And really, this is like, do you even need colors? With something this good, do you need colors? I'm just going to explore a little bit here. I got HyperCard. I want to give a good shout out to my friend Cancel, who set up this VM image originally for a HyperCard like sort of art jam event within this like interesting sort of internet creator subculture called Merveille that he's sort of like affiliated with. And HyperCard is a kind of like a programming for everybody environment that came out a really long time ago, and I think that there's kind of not really anything like this that exists now. I guess there's probably some stuff, but it's a pretty great environment. If you want to learn more about the art jam that I just talked about, you can search for HyperJam HyperCard on Google, and you should be able to find the result on Andrew's website and download the mini VMAC image and executable that they use to do that stuff. So you should be able to just download this and use it on your own computer if you search online for that URL. I think it's cancel.fm/hyperjam. Yeah. HTTPS cancel.fm/hyperjam, and you should be able to download this exact VM and pretty much everything else that you want to find. You can find on the Greifel project, or gryphel.com. This guy is like the developer of many VMac is really dedicated to preserving software for the early Macintosh. So he has a pretty extensive website where you can download all kinds of software for it. Again, thanks for watching. I wanted to cut this stream a little bit short compared to my previous programming videos, which were way too long. And I hope everyone liked watching the this beautiful monochrome UI and hopefully everyone learned a bit of Pascal here. Like I said, we got through types, we got through declaring variables, procedures, we got switch statements, case statements, we got ifs, we got handling events, calling functions, assigning values, all the good stuff. And I'll see you next time on part 2 of learning Pascal on the classic Macintosh, or whatever I end up calling this video series. Thanks again for watching. Peace out.